let out of his hat every once in a while on offense. We've been relying on
that one hurt.
And we've been warning
that one hurt.
That at some point you start playing
Motherfucker.
That can break down film and understand what happens.
You should be careful what you ask for.
Might as well go live with it. Might as well go live with it. That one hurt. I ain't gonna hold you. I vowed to myself I would never feel like this again. I hate sports. I told myself I would never care again. Listen, that's what it comes with though, right? Because when I get mine, that'll be day. I allowed myself, I dared to dream. And at the end of the day, you can call it what you want to call it. It was, from whatever direction you look at it, that was an ass whooping. Pretty much from the opening drive, Kansas set the tone. We're going to run the ball. What are you going to do to stop it? The answer? Not much. And it's frustrating for sure. There's an element of loss that comes with this. I don't know why I feel. I mean, I know why I feel frustrated, but there's just an element of loss. Like, you left one on the table for sure, but I can't really wrap my head around or my emotions around why I feel so pissed. So I'm going to give myself time to work through it, and I appreciate anybody who jumps online. This is going to be a catharsis for me because, for all intent and purpose, the 2024 season will end without a run in the playoffs. And you know what? When you're not deserving, you're not deserving. There was a lot of things exposed in this game, things that maybe rose-colored glasses were able to look past. It's always easiest to point out where everything went wrong, right? So I'm not gonna be that guy. First of all, round of applause just for waking up. That sounded so copey. That was so copey. Terrible cope. Round of applause for getting up in the morning. Fuck. You hate to see it happen. You hate to see it happen. And I don't know, were we flirting with it? Was this, it's only a matter of time? That's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like one of those, it was only a matter of time before one of the, I think, now see, you can't say that though. I can't say that because leading up to this game, the front seven, the defensive front had played pretty stellar against the pass. And I don't think they had faced teams that really could have tested them like Devin Neal and KU did today on the ground. Jesus. That was brutal. And it was from the first drive. And I know that it was a screen. It was a screen that they rolled on for their first score. But you could tell that the tackling wasn't going to be the stronger suit. And physicality, pressure bust pipes, man. And physicality will expose your weaknesses because football is a man's game. And if the other team comes in and their decided advantages, we're going to hit you in the mouth and see what you do about it. What did Mike Tyson say? Everybody knows what they're going to do in a fight till you get hit in the mouth. KU hit him in the mouth, and there was just really no swing back. And when the offense showed that it wasn't going to be able to just rip and run through a severe lack of creativity too. And this is what I mean when I say things get exposed. And we've been riding the high, so I got to, you got to take it for what it is. We've been riding the high of a Buffalo program putting the foot to ass on most opponents, even though, they fell behind on Texas Tech. They were toying with fire all the way through their win streak. And, as sports fans are prone to do, it's always better when you're winning. Nothing stinks. You don't smell shit when you're winning. But after this one, it's kind of like, And you just started to see, you saw in this game, which is a bummer to lose, man. You had it all in front of you. And 8-3 is 9-3. If they go on to beat Oklahoma State, that's a great year. And it's a year that will, at the end of the day, it's a season of improvement. And you have to accept that for what it is, because it's true. 1-11 to 4-7, 4-8 to 9-3. Market improvement in 2 seasons' time. And so you got Juju coming in. Yes, you're gonna lose Shador. Yes, you're gonna lose Travis Hunter. Yes, you're gonna be forced to figure out, like, how do you get this offensive line? How do you pull it together and gel and manufacture some type of rushing attack? Something. I was so hoping that, when I talk on here to whomever I'm speaking to, word will get back to Boulder and Draylon would have gotten a chance to carry the ball. They're special in a lot of places. Tailback is not one of those places. And you just saw, I think this was what we thought might happen versus Utah, although Utah was just ill-equipped because they were down in so many other areas, which was a team that decided, like, no, we're not going to get out here and track meet with you. We're going to run the ball. And if you can stop it, well, then we're in trouble. And I think that if CU would have been able to, I watched every KU game leading up to this one. I watched them in retrospect. And what I saw was a quarterback who, when forced to throw, can be erratic. And we kind of saw that in this game. Jalen isn't that guy. But he didn't have to be because Devin is. And he ran for 200-plus yards, and it looked like he could have ran for another 100. And that's the part of the game that you can't game plan. That's physicality. At the end of the day, what KU said was, we're going to run it. Stop it. And there was nothing that CU's front could do. And a lot of that seemed like, it's hindsight. I'm gonna trash some guys. Hindsight, I'm gonna trash some guys. Who I just feel like Levanta Bentley. It's just, he's got that neck roll, and I'm trying to manage looking at a team that has been put together through the transfer portal. So there's not going to be a lot of chemistry there. Looking at the guys up front on the defensive front, you started to see some gel in there midseason, and they started getting after it, and they were able to get after the quarterback. But football still comes down to the basics: blocking and tackling, physicality, and they got out physical. And so that front just looked so overmatched to where you start questioning the D coordinator, like, well, I guess you're going to have to fill the box maybe pretty soon. Like, what are we doing? And, they just, at the end of the day, you just saw poor tackling, but also guys who were, at the end of the day, when Shiloh got that targeting flag in the third quarter, it seemed like that's when the wheels started coming off, because you're trying to substitute. And I don't think he was trying to be dirty, but it was physical for no reason. It was a pass across the middle, tight end catches it, he's going to the ground. If you're not scrapping to try and maybe get some of your manhood back, maybe you just don't do that. They made mistakes in costly places, but at the end of the day, the biggest mistake was they just did not come prepared to be as physical as the team that they were facing. And I don't know how. the Jayhawks were going to run the ball. And it was a challenge to the front seven to stand up and show yourself approved, and they weren't able to do that. So there you have it. All right, fuck. Son of bitch shit. That one was hard to watch. So hard to watch, in fact, that I had to step away. I haven't been like this in a while. You're gonna have to understand. This is how much. Damn you, Prime. This is how much I'm sold. And I swore off of sports because I don't like this feeling. This is fan feeling. This is the fan feeling. I'm just letting you know. I'm not gonna come in here and sugarcoat shit. This is a fan feeling. When I have nothing invested. I didn't bet on the game. I don't have a scholarship. I don't have a kid playing in the game. I'm not gonna get no NIL money. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? I had this thing that I do, and my hope that everything that I think is possible for CU would have played out in this game. But you saw it on plays like this, where it wasn't like that tackle by Silman Craig, that attempt at a tackle. Like, these are the things that it's just like, okay, let me see if I'm going to make this assessment, and I'm going to try not to sound like I'm being a hindsight quarterback. I want you to watch this attempt at a tackle. You're not square. You know what I mean? You're tippy-toeing to it. Guys are falling all each over, and now that was early. That was their first score. Like, what? Okay. So the problem, now I'm going to get back to it. The problem that I've had with the swagger is that it has to be accompanied by sound football skill. Travis Hunter doesn't need sound football skill because he's an amazing athlete. And this thing goes across the board, because I think you saw it in the play calling, or maybe you're looking at Shermer and it's like, okay, I get it. Shedeur as a coach calls him, he's grown. That's grown. And you give him a lot of leeway. But at certain points in time, it's like, what are we doing here? And the play calling just seemed, watching Shedeur stare Travis down, maybe I'm missing something. You got a bunch of weapons that you can, and it seems like when things are going wrong, and they were going wrong early, you find yourself down 2 touchdowns, and then it's just the Travis Shedeur show, which got them back into the game. You'll get no argument, but you're freezing other guys out of activity, and then they're just not available. I'm trying to see who all caught balls today. Okay, LeJohntay had 4 catches. Draylon had 5 catches. That, Big 14 wasn't worth a look. There's 2 great. Kansas had 2 really good cornerbacks. So, but now it's, what's one of my favorite lines from a movie is in The Brothers. Is it called The Brothers? When they're in for the job interview, and they got those tuxedos on, and then the one brother farts, and then the guy's like, okay, now the tuxedos look a little fucked up. It's like, when it got physical, what I was hoping for was to see, okay, all that flash, that's cool, but show your opponent. Fuck showing me anything. Show your opponent that you're up to the physical task. And it's like, that's where that shit gets exposed. I'm dying to hear Coach Prime's post-game comments, which, let me see. That one hurt. That was hard. That was hard to watch because it was an ass whooping. If they lost in a good game, you're like, okay, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You're gonna.
That
You're going to take it on the chin because you ain't got no
But
choice.
He didn't have to tackle him like that.
But
He coulda hit him.
in this instance, it was just hard to see them get manhandled and really have no answer. Like there was nothing that they could do. And all that drawed up in the sand, Shedeur to Travis, then you're kind of looking at Shermer like, is there, at some point in time, is there something that you're going to add to this? Which I think has always made it hard. I'm kind of looking forward to Shedeur moving on because I want to see. There were a couple of the sacks that he had today that were just like, bruh. Like he's winding, twisting. I mean, he's winding and twisting and running backwards, steady losing yards. In key situations, they were down 9 when he took that 15, 20-yard sack. And you're just like, bruh, like that's not how the position – when everybody's talking about what, a good pro is, that was the one where he got a call for intentional grounding. When people are talking about what a good pro is, and he's just ready for the pro game, I believe that every quarterback knows, get the ball out of your hands and you live to go another down. And the one thing that you can't do is take a 20-yard sack. Running, trying to hope that Travis you live to fight another down. And yeah, they just got exposed in ways that it hurt to watch. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Because I do feel like there's a lot hanging in the balance. There's a lot hanging in the balance for this program. And what I mean by that is, if it gets disinteresting because it's not fun losing, do you lose Prime? He's got no loyalty to the program, right? Yeah, that's a Florida State guy. Leading up to this game, I was so sure, there's no way in the world that you lose this guy to another program even. And I still feel like that. But, Son's gone. Travis is gone. Money made. Like, how bought in is he? I guess we're going to find out. I do believe that Prime is there to stay. Don't get it twisted. And I'm just in pissed off fan mode, and it sucks. So I had to come on here just to get it off. Because this is never, I never wanted to feel like this again. I did not want to be here with any sports franchise. I swore off of sports for a reason. No bullshit. You can call it whatever you want to call it. When a thing that you're watching can have this much of an effect on your emotional state, where I'm more aggravated than anything, because at a certain point in time, it was just like watching the defense, watching the defensive line just get completely manhandled. Watching the D-line get completely manhandled. Just, you know what I mean? It's like you want to jump in. What the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do from home, right? Nothing. What do we have here?
Philip Dukes, where I will be producing that show, and you guys can support the Buffalo by getting you some good old liquor.
It's the biggest thing going, right? And I think Prime knows
good
that.
old liquor.
That's why it's like I put
right
so
there
much
using that code. Right,
I put so much on it. I feel
10.
like a playoff run just
Something
locks
new.
it in. You know what I mean? A playoff run just locks it in. There's no way in the world that, you know what I mean, he walks away from that much success. And now it seems kind of shaky. But yet I digress. I think this was instrumental, though, in what's going forward. This is what you hope. What you hope is that all of the gaping holes that we all saw, everybody, you got exposed. You got exposed in front of God and all his children. You got exposed in front of God and all his children, and there's nothing you can hide behind. And you now have to do the hard work, that being the CU staff, of making sure that this team doesn't quit on itself down the stretch and go into Oklahoma State and lay another one. I don't see that happening. The Big 12 championship game is way, way, way harder to reach now. You need so many things to happen. I think you need like a BYU loss. You need one of three things. You need like Utah has to beat Iowa State. ASU has to win their game. And or BYU has to lose their game. Now, two of those things are possible. Utah beating Iowa State, that can happen. ASU losing their game, that can happen. But I did see a comment that made sense, and it was like, well, you don't. Is it worth it if you don't deserve it? Is it worth going to the playoffs if you don't deserve it? And I'm like, well, what is deserve it? What does that mean? Like, what does it mean to deserve it on? What does it mean to deserve it on that level? Like, you win, you're in, and you deserve whatever you make of it. Oh God, I can't. Let's see what Twitter's talking so much shit right now. Wow. But the whole world is against Colorado. They never get any calls. Shedeur Sanders literally showed an official and should have been ejected. He did shove him. He did shove the ref. That one hurt. That one hurt. What's that all about, though? That shit was crazy. That hit was crazy. Legal, I guess. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the guy that's like, but that's on his knees. Missile at his knees? That hit was crazy. Was this dirty? Is that legal? Like, that's dirty as hell. He's targeting the man's knees. Submariner. He could have put it in his stomach. Pause. That shit's crazy. And yeah, if you're Shedeur, it's like, nigga, I'm not getting paid. That ain't IL money right there. That ain't enough. What we got here? Oh, what is happening? There's no sound on that. Who's getting hogtied? Somebody's on the field. That's crazy. Deion Sanders haters after Colorado lost to Kansas. I can't stand it. This is why it hurts. I ain't gonna hold you. This is why I'm pissed. Because they can't wait to come out. And you know what? Have at it, haters. You earned it. You waited and you waited. You waited and you waited. It was bound to fall off. The wheels was bound to come off at some point in time. There are questions, though, man. When you get gashed like that, that fucking meme, I can't stand it. Jesus, 331 yards on the ground, 207, 72 to the quarterback. Like, yee. Savion even got himself 47. Ugh. Luke Grimm got himself 7. Ugh. Ugh. Fucking hell. What else are they saying on Twitter? You bozos. I can't stand. This is still crazy. That's a crazy wild allowance. That's crazy wild that would be allowed to happen. And he immediately grabbed for his knee. Shedeur, though, man, has been everything and more. He's injected life into this CU program because, you need a quarterback to win. You know, and his play all season, as much as frustrating as it is, his cool hand has been the reason why the Buffs have been on deck. Devin Neal in Kansas. And number 16, Colorado, its third loss of the season. It looked like this. You see that look on Prime's face? We all felt it. Like, what the hell? Look at me. Now, do I look like... Damn, they got it from all angles. This is wild. Shit. I don't know, y'all. I want to say that it was a great year. I want to say, hey, man, good job. You did what you were supposed to do.
And he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh.
No flag.
And he is going right to the knee.
You know Prime's going to have something to say about that. There will be damn, Submariner. There will be things to have said about that. Look, all the Colorado fans who were in my mention all week, fuck you. This is what happens when you talk all that. Yes. What do you got to say, Emmanuel?
We got bad news. Colorado did not handle their business versus Kansas, and now they got to hope, pray, and win. Colorado no longer controls their own fate. Kansas ran the ball right down their throat. They beat the brakes off of them. They bludgeoned them all game long. Kansas, a 4-win team, beat Colorado. Colorado, at the beginning of this day, all they had to do win the next 2 games, they're in. Now, they got to win next week. They got to hope for a loss from Iowa. They got to hope for a loss from Arizona. They got to hope for a loss from BYU. They got to hope, they got to hope, they got to hope. Not good for Colorado, y'all. Not good.
Yeah, not good. Bad, not good. Let's hear what Devin Neal had to say about
You
it.
have helped lead this program to so many firsts, and tonight you get a historical win with the 3rd straight win against a ranked team. What does it say about the fight in this group?
I've said it a lot of times. You know, I've said it before that a lot of guys could have gave up on this, but it's special, and you see the crowd that showed up today. We built this, and we take a lot of pride in that, and it's just so special. And you know, to go out like that in my last home game and a lot of others, it means a lot. And you know, there's a lot of emotions I'm feeling right now, but this is such a special group.
What are those emotions?
Say again, I'm sorry.
What are those emotions you're feeling right now?
I'm just, like I said, just so proud, you know, of this fan base. I just love this fan base. I love this school. I love this university. I give everything to this university.
Lawrence kid.
You know, there's been so many supporters through it all, and you know, I can't imagine being a part of a better school. So, definitely that.
We saw a lot of that pride on display tonight, your individual performance, 4 touchdowns. Can you just describe for me what it was like to run the ball like that tonight on this senior night?
We knew what we wanted to do, but at the end of the day, I give my credit to my O-line and my receivers. You know, they're so unselfish. They could easily been pouting and stuff like that for not passing the ball a lot, but, you know, they ride with me and I ride with them, and I have their back at the end of the day. And, you know, it's just such a special group, and there's no selfishness on this team, and everyone wants to play for each other, so super proud at the end of the day.
Devin, thank you. Congratulations. Go soak this in.
Good job, young man. A round of applause for Devin Neal. Don't hate. It does you no good. That's still such a crazy play. That's still such a crazy play. Ref just cost Colorado a touchdown by blowing an easy call. Hunter would have easily scored if he hadn't gotten grabbed. Can't blame the refs. Colorado haters seeing Kansas beat Colorado. I fucking hate this shit, bro. This is why they play the games, all right? This is why we're out here. This is why we're out here. And now you hope the Juju Lewis era will bring a little more diversity to the offense. I don't want to take anything away from Shedeur. Nothing at all. They are not a 9-win team without him. And I do believe they'll beat Oklahoma State next week. You're not a 9-win team without him. So kudos to Shedeur. Holding that ball, though, man. God damn, brother. Who you think you is? Fran Tarkington? Randall Cunningham? Throw the ball away and learn how to fight another down, my brother. But I also have never taken a snap on the D1 level, so I don't know anything about what that's like. Colorado, I need y'all to turn the fuck up. They tried. They got turned down and turned out and toinked out. I don't know what you do. Oh yeah, Trav took out. Picked by the ref. I don't know why he tried to make such a big accentuation of it, though. It looked like at a certain point in time, too, that guys were just doing way more than needed to be. Like McNeil's. Oh, man, they came out in the all whites and they got dusted like a team that wears all white. Like they wanted to stay clean. You got to put on them black Air Force. They didn't have on their black forces. You got to put on them all blacks, the do-dirts. I'm coming. I don't know. I hope he ain't going. Shep got no targets today. He got one target at the end of the game. One target. Shep got one target today. That's what I'm talking about with Shedeur, is that as great a quarterback as he's been, he gets tunnel visioned, if you ask me. And the thought is well, Travis can do it all. Travis can do a whole lot of it. But you got so many weapons. And the question becomes between him and Pat Shurmur, like, what's the approach? Does Pat have any influence whatsoever to be like, hey, let's get the ball out a little quicker and let's look for this in the flat, or let's try and draw something up so we can get a drag route across the middle. Like, everything seemed like a struggle. Everything seemed like deep drop, trying to hit big plays. And granted, guys maybe just weren't open. It looked a lot of the time like everybody was blanketed. So I will say that. But it's just, I don't know, man. Watching Travis with the ball is like watching Jamal Murray squeeze the air out of it. Bollocks, man. You bollocksed it up. Let's see if we can get any post-game coach.
Rushing was alarming. You can't win when a team is rushed for 331 yards on you. That's not indicative of who we've been and who we are. That is certainly not who we are, and we could not stop the bleeding. We tried consistently, but we could not stop the bleeding. That's hats off to them. They were physical. They out-physicaled us. They outplayed us. They wanted it a lot more than we did.
Adam, go ahead. Missed tackles. How much did that surprise you? That obviously wasn't something that...
No, that's not nothing that we do. That's not our identity. We usually get to the ball at an alarming rate, and we're very physical when we get there. The first screen pass that went for a touchdown, I believe it was like 51 yards. I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. Here we go with the dumb stuff. That's not who we are. When that happens, you know we on some dumb stuff today. And we got to do better. We got to do better. They got to do a better job as coaches. We got to do a better job as players. We just got to do a better job, period.
Dennis, go ahead.
Yeah, all your goals are still in front of you.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a little harder now.
Yes, sir.
When do you...
Already did. Trust me. We just did. When you're in control of your own destiny, it's a phenomenal thing. I don't just think about football. I think about life. So the message to these young men is if God were to grant you every darn thing you needed in life, all the ability, the thought process, the connections, the visuals, and you don't do nothing with it. That's on you. And that's what we are. We control our own destiny. And we fumbled it.
Put it on the ground. Put it on the ground. It got picked up by the other side and returned for infinity touchdown. It's like, what the fuck?
Brian, go ahead. Hey, Coach. Brian, how
Yes.
Fuck.
Sir.
you guys have been more physical team for several weeks now.
Yeah.
Today, obviously, they were. What did you feel like? What was the difference there? Why were they more physical than you?
Yeah, they just.
Why were they more physical than you?
We were smelling ourselves. They wanted it more.
That's what it feels like. That is what I've picked up from this. And I've just picked it up from guys who I'm like, I just want to, with all due respect, you ain't that. What's surrounding you is, and then that comes back to the coach and the culture and the environment. Because when you set this, swaggy tone at the top, everybody feels like, well, I got to walk around with swag. I got to swag it out. And it's like, but your game's not so swaggy. You don't swag like, your swag ain't like his swag. So maybe you should focus on the fundamentals. And Levante Bentley is just he's the one guy who I constantly see like, what do you do here in terms of effectively and not just haphazardly? And it'll be like, oh, don't pick on Levante. And it's like, okay, I won't. But what I will say is that you just, I personally feel like you saw guys out there trying to swag their way through a slugfest. And a slugfest ain't got shit to do with yours. Bro, fuck that swag. I'm hitting you in your mouth. Do you have any response? No? Here's another.
And that's on me. I can't let a team that I coach start feeling themselves. Can't do that.
So how do you fix that? He just said it. I can't let them start feeling themselves. How are they not going to feel themselves when that's how you carry yourself? And that's with all due respect. How do they not walk around like the shit when you walk around like the shit? The gold chains, and I don't even want to take nothing away from anything they've done to this point because that would be a sorry-ass thing to do in this moment. But I'm telling you, football is not rocket science. At the end of the day, it's the most physical team 9 times out of 10 has the upper hand. Will they win? Yeah, sometimes sometimes you can out-swag physicality. But you're talking about a team that came in on a 2-game winning streak on a high because they've just been they've been beating tough teams. Their win against BYU, they've been beating tough teams. Well, are you a tough team or are you a swaggy team? Is it wide receiver reverses and screens? Can you block and tackle? Can you turn around and hand the ball off and get 4 yards when you need 4 yards? Can you stop that nigga from getting 7 yards when he needs, or 9 yards? Like, what? And I'm just telling you, my observation, if there's any one thing that I said from the beginning of this season, I was like, but I kind of came to grips with it. I'm like, what are you tripping on? If they're good playing like that, if the swing and the chains and the constant media attention, if that works for them, let them work it. Now, in hindsight, I'm going to turn my back on it. I'm just going to point out that I do feel like it's hard for these players not to feel themselves when the tone around the program is there's a rapper in the locker room every weekend. It's Gilly, it's Wallow, it's it's a star-studded affair on the sideline. And you ain't won shit. That's just being honest. And they're there because Coach Prime's there, and they're on the sideline, and they're in, and everybody's dapping, and it was so cool, and it's all good. So how is your team not going to feel like, how are they not going to smell themselves when that's the environment? You're talking about young men. That's the environment that they're walking into. Somewhat of a circus. How are they not going to feel themselves in that? I think this will be I think this is actually, maybe now I'm coming around to seeing a silver lining. I think this might be a good thing because I hope that these conversations that I'm having are conversations that he's having. Not only with players and with himself. Like, okay, maybe we got to get this thing because it's hard. I think it's hard for Coach Prime because he came in, but, Indiana took a loss today too. So we're not by ourselves of teams that got, I think, exposed. Indiana got exposed. You go up against Ohio State. It was like, damn, all that undefeated shit. You ain't played nobody yet. Number 5. And number 5 got treated like we got treated. We all took the same ass whooping. So there's that. Misery loves company. But I do think, genuinely, I do think that it's like, what are we doing? Can we build the winner first before it's open locker room to every rapper in America? Can we build a winner first? Can we tell those guys, man, I appreciate y'all wanting to be here for me, but right now what my players need to understand what's most important. And this is a distraction. This is what leads young men to believe that maybe they're a little more than what they should be seeing themselves as. Consider yourself a winner. Always believe in yourself 1,000%. But how could you? I'm serious now. And I think you needed this type of, because this wasn't fluky. This was 15 yards and a cloud of dust. This was 300 plus yards running and a cloud of dust. Whoop ass, whoop ass, whoop ass, whoop ass. Oh, you want more? Because the only thing I got over here for you is more whoop ass. And unless you're coming back with whoop ass, this is going to continue to be whoop ass. And I'm going to whoop ass and whoop ass, whoop ass until the game clock has all zeros on it. And that's what happened. And yes, in hindsight, but it's like, it's the gift and the curse. It's the gift and the curse of high profile. And the best, I think the best medicine, although you don't really get to, because if this had been earlier in the season, now you got 4, 5, 6, 7 more games to really get, because I don't think I don't feel like maybe the Nebraska game you could say they got, but I thought they left meat on the bone in the Nebraska game. They just played a boneheaded game. This was the first game I had seen this team just get manhandled. This is the first game I had seen this team just get manhandled. And it was hard to watch.
Slow starts, another kind of issue for the offense.
Yeah.
I figured if you would have had an answer, you probably would have fixed it at this point. Is it frustrating for you?
Well, 21 points in 19 minutes of possession. I'm pretty good with that. I think I'll take that. We got to do better defensively. That was not the offense today. I understand what you're saying, but we got to do better defensively. They didn't punt one time.
Not one.
Mike, go ahead.
Them niggas scored on every possession except the last one. And they ran the clock out with that. 7 possessions. Oh.
Shador got hit really low in the first half.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's good. I mean, Shador been hit his whole life, man. I mean, this kid is tough. He's one of the toughest.
You can see the contrition. This is when it's real. Welcome to college football. This is when it's real. I'm with every word I'm hearing him speak and seeing it on his face, I'm actually more encouraged now than I was at the beginning of this presser.
Young football players that I've ever seen.
Hey, Coach, Jalen Weiss, in the last 2 weeks, Draylon Miller has done a really good job of
yes, sir.
filling that empty spot of Jimmy Horn Jr. What can you say about his performance today?
He's phenomenal. I mean, especially a freshman. The game is these magnitudes, and he's showing up and showing out. The moment is not too big for him. He plays hard. He practices hard. He's smart. Don't make many mental errors. I love the kid, man. I mean, we want to recruit more of those type of young men.
Eric, go ahead.
When a team doesn't perform to what's indicative of who they've been, how do you handle that moving forward?
That's practice. That's
when a team doesn't perform to indicative or up to the standard of who they've been, how do you handle that? I think that the reason I stopped on that is because I'm like, has this proven itself to be a really physical, imposing defense? They get after the quarterback, but that's a lot of scheme and edge rushing. And when you build like they say, when you build a baseball team, you build it up the middle. Catcher, second base, shortstop, who's in your outfield, center fielder, pitching, right? When you build a football team, especially a defense, them two tackles, whatever your scheme is, the two inside guys have to be guys that can't be bullied, right? Because that's the backbone of your defense. And if they're getting pushed off the ball, everything else kind of just falls apart after that. Too many times you were just seeing Kansas offensive linemen, big motherfuckers, just roaming downfield looking for linebackers and DBs to truck. And truck they did.
Tremendous thought process, which I will have from right now all the way until we land, and probably all day tomorrow, because it's hard for me to flush things. I carry them because I'm a perfectionist. I try to see what's the problem and then administer to the problem and hopefully provoke change within the problem. That's not who we are. Truly not who we are, especially defensively.
I'm not going to question it. He knows his team. And when he says that's not who we are defensively, I know what he means. I just don't know if they ever had a chance to prove that, because this was seemingly the most physical test that they've had all season.
Especially defensively. Yes, sir.
Coach, you've done.
No, Utah was pretty physical.
Teams did a remarkable job of making second half adjustments defensively. Was it just Neal being that good, or the adjustments didn't take?
No.
This is let's talk about your defensive coordinator, because I was wondering, like, we're gonna fill the box at all or no?
Rob called a good game, man.
That's so.
We got to do what he called. You know, we got to do what he called. He called a pretty good game. I mean, I'm hearing this stuff and I'm seeing what's supposed to transpire and it never did. They didn't punt, man. Like he called a pretty good game.
Mark, go ahead.
You mentioned gotten intoxicated with yourself or being with yourself. It's easy for all of us in retrospect.
I didn't say me.
No,
you kind of said, like, the way you said it sounded different, like yourself.
No. You're a player.
Okay, there you go.
That's easy in retrospect.
Yes, sir.
You see it.
Yes, sir.
Coming.
Yes, sir. Well, we tried to handle it in the meetings. We handle it tremendously. You know, some folks you can't put behind microphones and you can't give them podcasts. You can't do that because they get intoxicated with the success, and you know who that is. So you try your best to eliminate that. But they can't stop reading the stuff about who we are. That's a little tough. So you try to humble everything around you, and including yourself. You try your best to do.
This was the point I was making about 10 minutes ago. He said, okay, let him finish.
Such, because you know what you have in the locker room. I know my kids, man. I know all of them.
Okay. That was interesting. That's where that stopped. I believe him. You know, I believe that he understands. I believe that he understands who his team is.
Good Lord.
This is the beginning of it.
Yeah, we good. Trust me. God is taking me everywhere. This is a sweet. How's everyone doing? Great game by KU. They have a tremendous football team that are resilient. They have a wonderful coach. Let's close that door. Let's do something so it's not distracting.
I didn't get to see it from the beginning, so y'all riding with me, so you're gonna do what I say.
There we go. Thank you. Wonderful coach who is one of my favorites in the Big 12. I feel as though we have a tremendous relationship. He checked on me when nobody was. We changed pleasure.
Is he gonna check on you after this one?
Trees before the game, and I told him that his team is resilient. They're the reflection of who he is. They fight to the end. They're very physical. They're tough. They're tenacious. They ran the heck out of the football, which we couldn't stop. Period. Today, we started smelling ourselves a little bit. That's what I just told our team. We got intoxicated with it.
Okay, so now let me come closer to the end.
Give you confidence as a coach knowing that these guys can respond.
DeJounte, Will, someone reading the stuff about who we are. That's a little tough. So you try to humble everything around you, and including yourself. You try your best to do such because you know what you have in the locker room. I know my kids, man.
When they see a diamond-studded whistle, how could you not smell yourself when your coach walks around with a diamond-studded whistle? And I'm telling you, keep it on. But how are you going to navigate that space? Because this could easily get out of hand. You know what I mean? Like the program type shit. Because once there's a poison pill and it becomes all about money or attention, when that horse is out of the barn, you're talking about a whole different type of situation.
I know all of them.
And I asked you a week or so ago
how
hard it is to handle success, especially.
Well, I mean, you talking about the kids? You talking about
kids?
Yeah, that's tough. All of them are different, man. Some are different. Like Travis handles it pretty darn well. You know, DeJounte, Will, some of the other guys do. Some guys don't.
And what's crazy is it seems like the better players are the ones that handle it well. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. The defense has come a long way. How many third-round draft picks are on that defensive line, in that front seven? You feel what I'm saying? How many third-round guys are in that front seven? There ain't no first or second. I know that. Arden Walker, if he gets after it, I think he could be one. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about 4, 5, 6. Undrafted. Like, no offense to the young man, but I keep picking on him. But Levante Bentley, he's the one with the neck roll. When you watch him play, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, that's a guy. But if that guy feels like he's the man, like he's him, because he's in an environment of a bunch of people walking around like, no, we him. Oh, yeah, we are him. No, you're not. And I think there's a lot of guys on this roster that just, you're talking about young men. Now, Coach Prime says he knows his guys. I have no reason not to believe him. I have no reason not to believe him. You know your squad. Cool. How are you going to reel them in and keep this thing rolling with so much exposure and so much? I mean, you're going to have to become a dog in them practices.
I mean, some of the guys that really never gotten it, but now they're getting it. That's intoxicating to them. Attention is intoxicating to some people.
Right.
We gotta fix that. That's on me. I gotta fix that.
Right, Coach, the last time you guys looked like this was probably first half in Nebraska.
Right.
Probably the only other time you looked like this.
Right.
You responded really well from that. Does that give you confidence as a coach, knowing that these guys can respond to something like that?
I never give up, Brad.
Jason Whitlock. I don't even want to look. I'll go look at Jason Whitlock. I know he's
until that last second ticked off the clock
basking
when
in
I knew they were going into the kneeling. That's when I knew it was over. But I never give up on these young men because I know we have the propensity to come back, given the time frame on the score clock. But that just wasn't us today, man. Make no bones about it. They forced us into some situations that were tremendous. They did a great job. They had the trickery involved in certain things, and the timing of them were impeccable. We just didn't do our job.
So real quick follow-up, because I didn't ask it correctly, but I meant like after this week. You guys bounced back so well from Nebraska.
Well, I pray
you feel
so.
confident going forward?
I'm always confident, so I'm never unconfident. I know what we have in that locker room. I trust those young men to do what they need to do to recover And it's a terrible feeling. You got to understand. I just saw their faces. It's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible sentiment. It's a terrible mood. They're not happy with themselves. Now they got to go read about it, and hear about it, and think about it. But sometimes it's the best thing to happen to people. Like after the Nebraska thing, I think that was a blessing in disguise to us. We need to just confident do our job. So situations, frame, Neil, really. Right. We gotta fix that. That's on me. I gotta fix that.
Right, Coach, the last time you guys looked like this was probably first half of Nebraska.
Right.
Probably the only other time you looked like this.
Right.
You responded really well from that. Does that give you confidence as a coach, knowing that these guys can respond to something like this?
I never give up, Brian. I never do. Until that last second ticked off the clock of when I knew they were going into the kneeling. That's when I knew it was over. But I never give up on these young men because I know we have the propensity to come back.
The propensity to come back.
Given the time frame on the score clock. But that's just wasn't us today, man. Make no bones about it. They forced us into some situations that were tremendous. They did a great job. They had the trickery involved in certain things, and the timing of them were impeccable.
I didn't see any trickery at all. Now, granted, I am not the most observant X and O guy. I'm not going to sit here and play. I'm not going to sit here and act like if trickeration is hitting you in the mouth, then yeah. I didn't see no trickeration in that. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I didn't see a lot of ginning up. It looked like they went right and they went left, and they went right and they went left, and mostly on the ground. It didn't look very tricky.
To do our job.
So we real quick follow up because I didn't ask it correctly, but I meant like after this week, you guys bounced back so well from Nebraska.
Well, I pray
you feel
so.
confident going forward.
I'm always confident, so I'm never unconfident. I know what we have in that locker room. I trust those young men to do what they need to do to recover, and it's a terrible feeling. You got to understand. I just saw their faces. It's terrible.
How does that? I wonder how that feels to the recruit. What do you think Juju's thinking? Like, do you lose Boateng over this, or does he look at it like I'll be your guy on that front seven? What y'all need is some Boateng in that front seven.
Terrible feelings, a terrible sentiment, it's a terrible mood. They're not happy with themselves. Now they got to go read about it and hear about it and think about it. But sometimes it's the best thing to happen to people. Like after the Nebraska thing, I think that was a blessing in disguise to us.
I don't disagree with that. I think that a little blood in the mouth, we can all use a little. You know what I mean? You get to smelling yourself. Everybody could use a little rap across the yap.
True.
Coach, you guys are at about 25% on third down the last two games, even with the two wins against Tech and Utah. What's being done going forward to kind of address that, keep the punting off the field?
If I knew we would have done it today. Trust me, that's on me. We'll get it together.
A contrite Coach Prime is interesting because no glasses. He's going to look he's looking at his competition because he knows what this is. He's not unaware. He knows he's being scrutinized with every word. I'm talking about in this presser. You know why? Are you going to be bristly about it? Are you going to come in here and you going to chide everyone for daring to ask you questions? You going to have them glasses on? Oh, no glasses, huh? Okay, no glasses. Okay, but you're looking people in the eye. He knows. So I like that. I do like that.
We'll look better next week, I promise you. Much better.
Coach, I think they had almost 200 yards on first down plays today. Just how
God damn, 200 yards on first down plays? Fuck.
difficult is that for defense when they're consistently getting 3, 4, 5 yards?
Chunks.
Just putting you guys in that
Chunks.
third and manageable.
Well, that's tough on the coordinator. It's not like we didn't know what they were going to do. I mean,
that's what I said. When you said trickery, I'm like, it didn't look very tricky. The trick was, it ain't tricking if you got it, and they had it. They got a back, and they got linemen, and they have a will and a want to run the ball down your throat. It didn't seem very tricky.
It was called. I mean, you can hear it in the headset. You know what was coming. We just got to take care of it. We just got to do a better job in preventing it, and we did not do that today.
couple more. Troy, go ahead.
Coach, now you guys have a short week to play on Friday instead of Saturday after this tough loss. Does the message change in preparation going into that final?
No, we're thankful that we have one less day. Pretty much, we're thankful because now you just get, you got to flush it and get it on, and let's go to the next window. The thing about this week is you got to really guard the young men's minds because family comes in town and friends and loved one comes in town. You got to keep them focused. And you got the other team leaving away from their family, friends, and loved ones, and they're coming to be spoilers. So you got to refocus your young men and let them understand that this is not about turkey and dumplings and applesauce or whatever you have. Cranberry sauce, I'm sorry, not applesauce. It's not about that. It's about football, man.
Coach, you mentioned your relationship with Coach Lightfall. You both building programs from the ground up. What are some of the things that he shared with you to kind of help you?
His just optimism, his passion for the game. He's always positive, man. I've never talked to him and he was not positive. I mean, this was on the brink when them starting out bad as well. He was focusing on me and making sure I'm okay, and making sure he's okay. He's a stand-up guy, great young man.
Okay, go ahead.
Coach, Philip Houston left the game late.
Yeah.
An update on the status?
Well, we're hoping he didn't tear ACL. That's what we thought. That's what they're thinking right now. I'm hoping that's not the case. But thank God we have depth. We have tremendous depth on the offensive line.
Anything else for Coach?
Hey, thank you all. God bless you.
It's real short. Okay. All right. Listen, man. 1-11, 4-8, somewhere between 8 and 9 and 8 and 4, 9 and 3. I'm going to take 9 and 3. They're going to handle their business against Oklahoma State. Big 12 championship. It's a task. You need some providence on your side. You need the football gods to smile on you if you want the ride, to continue in a way that is worthy of, or at least commensurate to all the attention. If CU goes and plays in the Holiday Bowl, does anybody give a fuck? What was all this about if they go and play in the Meineke Wrench Bowl, Ratchet Bowl, the KFC Dumpling Bowl? What was it all for? That spotlight's not there and you're not making a run, even a first-round run into the playoffs. How does that affect your recruiting? Especially after a loss when people look and they're like, damn, y'all got manhandled. Does it start to seem cartoonish and kind of like a circus to a real serious young high school football player who's like, I'm not coming for all that, man. I want to play football. I want a chance to start, yes, but I don't need all the rest of that. Undue pressure. That's what you do, is you put undue pressure on yourself when you're so loud on arrival. And what people bristle against with this program is probably, y'all ain't even really done shit yet. Why are we constantly talking about CU? And it ain't really because of what's happening on the field, although it is. It's more so what's happening off the field and then how that's translating to what's happening on the field. Do you tell Bucky and them, hey, man, let's ease up? How do you tell your son that? That's his livelihood. How do you tell Bucky, we got Reach the People media, we got Well Off media, I got a reality show going on, I got a baby in the way, I got, what I mean? I got a piece of chicken on the side. But those are great recruiting tools. That's all a part of it. It's like the program. It's like Friday Night Lights. It's like you're the program that's always under scrutiny spotlight. That's different than playing under the bright lights. Playing in the microscope under scrutiny spotlights because everybody's like, are y'all even deserving of all that? Does it matter what the outside thinks? Of course not. It only matters of what they think in that locker room. But you heard him address it. And he said it's his job to clean it up. And my question to Coach Prime would be, when you are this flashy, when you are not dissuading the attention, when you don't put up a fence and say, yeah, Gillian Wallow, you can come to the game, but No more standing on the sideline with us. My guys can't, and these young men need a haven that is free of all of these hangers on that want to be a part of the media circus. Yeah, I appreciate the love. Go watch the game from the stands like everyone else. Because that's the type of, trust me when I say, okay, for the longest time, we ran a bar in Denver called Cold Crush. Shout out to the homies. And it was a happening like none other. It was a happening like none other. In the history of Denver nightlife, there was nothing like this place. I'm talking about a bar that might have been 800 square feet. 11. Let's say it's 1,100 square feet, maybe. Little old spot. For those that know. It was, by the time it really got going, I'm talking about Wednesday. I'm going to stop short of when the Sundays started going. I'm going to just go with my time before I move to L.A. Wednesday through Saturday, I'm talking about the number one spot to be in Denver. Little old bar. But it had style. Dope. Shout out to Musa, Eric, B-Lo, Jip, Jake, the whole bar staff. Connor. We drank a lot. We partied a lot. Wushu. Rest in peace, Will. We had, it was literally like you just had to have been there. So much so that being either on the side or close to behind the bar or up in the DJ booth, elevated DJ booth, was like, these are the pinnacle places to be. And I'm like the director of entertainment. So after a while, everybody wanted to be in those spots. They either wanted to be in the DJ booth or they wanted to be on the side behind the bar. There's a kitchen. So you could come out of the kitchen and go straight to the bar. So there's a back. Now, for VIPs, I'm talking about a line out around the corner up the block, people waiting to get in this little ass bar. Patio packed constantly. People trying to hop over the rail, the fence to get on the patio to get in. Like, it was that spot. I'm talking about Musa, Jip them would have this thing jumping. Wushu them would have this thing jumping. I'm like, packed in tight. Police was good to us because they let us just do our thing. You feel what I'm saying? There could have been some questions asked about capacity. Let's just say that. I'm talking about elbow to elbow, jumping, sweating. Problem is, though, is that everybody wants to be the VIP, wants the VIP treatment. So we're constantly having to clear out the side and the behind the bar, and then everybody wants to, you see one person get in and go through the kitchen. Well, you want to be on that. You want to be on that train. Like, I want the good fellas through the kitchen entrance. Everybody sees you walk in through the kitchen entrance. Everybody's looking. I mean, it was really that affair. It was really that affair. Well, goddamn it, everybody can't be in the kitchen and behind the bar. Well, that's hard to tell people, right? Because now you're trying to, well, he is, but he's not, and she is, and she's not. It's a problem. If you don't go, none of y'all is, then everybody wants to be. You feel what I'm saying? So I say that to say with Coach Prime, at a certain point in time, is you running a program or is it a club? Not a juke joint club, but you know what I'm saying? And I get the rappers after the game and the DJ in the locker room. And it's our style. It's our swag. It's how we do it. Cool. Then that means you have to recruit the type of young people that can be in that environment but not swayed by it. It's about my work. My work gonna prove my worth. Now, what I will say is they're only 2 years in. So when I look at Jason Whitlock and he's gloating because, a lot of the hate is centered behind Prime's swagger. and what people believe is the proper way to approach being in the public eye. How people think you should behave because we've bequeathed you, we've blessed you with this public eye and our attention. So then we want you to look like this. And he's like, damn all that. And I fuck with that. I support that. Quite honestly, I had to check some shit inside of me because really what I wanted was to avoid this feeling. I'm being honest with you. Early on when I was like, let's tone it down. It's because when you take that loss, they're coming for you. But you know what? That's some punk shit on my behalf. Because they're like, let them come. They're going to come for us anyway. And I learned a valuable lesson over the course of this season about what it means, what confidence looks like, what it means. And what I just saw out of Coach Prime, I will say this. What I just saw out of Coach Prime, that's a man right there. And he can lead his men because he stood and took the arrows. And they were very cordial about it. I think everybody's looking to be like, how you going to be in this loss, in the face of this loss? And again, we're not just talking about any loss. They got whooped. Feet, belt to ass, whole of it, all 9, whooped tonight, this afternoon in KC. Whooped. Not a lot you can say. There's not a lot of wiggling. You can't wiggle out of that one. That was one of them Kung Fu Kenny on Drizzy Drakes. You ain't wiggling out of this one. They got whooped. So Jason Whitlock and the crew, they'll have their day. They're having their time now, basking in it, basking in another person's failure, and that is the sport, right? That's the deal. This is the deal. So, okay. All right. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better after watching that post-game presser, to be honest with you. I'd love to see what well-off media, what the post looks like. To see the young men, if they understand what just happened and how quickly all that wine can turn into vinegar in your mouth. Because at the end of the day, what I want to see happen, I want to see Coach Prime stay on them sidelines in Boulder for 10 to 15 years, win 4 to 5, hell, I'll take 6 national championships and rub it tastefully in the face of everyone who says a black man can't show up and be himself, god damn it, without having to kowtow to y'all and do the whole dance where I burr, 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 and, do the dance. I'll be respectful. I love my Lord. My Lord loves me, but I'm going to be out here and I'm having these things. I got my talk show. Don't say shit to me. I got my reality show. Don't say shit to me. I'm wearing my diamond-studded whistle. Don't say shit to me, because my guys come out and they take the game seriously and they win. And hopefully, I think all you need to do is show a lot of these guys. I mean, some draft statuses were lost tonight. Please believe it. That front seven, I mean, this is the place where you prove it. The combine is great. You can run, you can jump, you can bench press, all that. Let's pull up that game tape. Let me see that game tape, dog. And if that game tape shows that you can be pushed around, what do I need you for? You feel me? If the game tape shows that you can be
Eastern Kentucky, put up big numbers there.
Like that, what do I need you for? I'm not here for your swag. I don't give a damn about your swagger. This is my pretty boy swag. I work, sing, bam. That hate. But as with all things, the sun will rise tomorrow. Ooh, Shador.
Sure, I know you're not one that's going to point at the defense, but obviously the defense had a rough night tonight. How tough is that on the offense when they're giving up points every time you guys have to match that?
Offensively, we got to just do our job and score every drive. It's not really. It was a lot of games. They came and they saved us a lot of times. So this was our game to help them out.
I'm telling you, man, I'm always impressed. As much as he pisses me off, the way he holds the ball, and I wonder how that is viewed on the NFL level. Quite honestly, like what will that do to his draft status? He's Deion's son. He's got all the tools. He makes all the throws, but there's just certain things that I don't want to have to try and uncoach from you. And if you don't understand, get it out and let's live to fight another day. And you're willing to take a 20-yard loss, híjole.
Dangerous tackle there. That was a no call when you got.
Somebody at the door right there. All right, we good.
When you got tackled
Yeah.
in lower. What do you think of that play? Do you think it was roughing the passer? And how?
I mean, I just don't know how that's legal overall. Like, I ain't.
It's true.
Understand that, but it is what it is. There's a couple plays like that, but. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, don't cry about it now." Yes, laugh now. Everybody laugh now. Get it out now. But this should never be allowed, to be honest with you. Let me see. This should never be allowed.
And he is going right to the knee.
This ain't got nothing to do with
It's
tough.
Dean Miller.
This ain't got nothing to, like that.
And he is going
How
right
is that not? How is
to
that not?
the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
That's, look.
And he is
his
going
helmet
right to the knee.
Is going toward his
It's
knee.
Dean Miller.
His helmet basically lands on the
And
knee.
he is going right
How
to
is that allowed?
the knee.
And there's times when, okay, we're gonna say, and then they was giving him the business there. They was giving him the business. He's like, hey, man, what the hell? Good on the ref, I guess, for swallowing his whistle. How is this allowed? You know what I'm saying? And how are none of his offensive linemen on this nigga's helmet? Because that's what should have happened after that. See, look. Wait, Deion Sanders and his insanely overrated Colorado team, who has never beaten anyone, just got boat raced by a 4-win Kansas team. See, this is a person that doesn't know football. Because that 4-win Kansas team is on their 3rd win over a ranked opponent. So this is, you know what I mean? Does it pay to look at stuff like this? Do you stay away from looking at stuff like this? This one is funny, though. That is good. That is good.
The offense has been a little bit slow out of the box most of the year. Have you noticed that? And what do you think the issue is?
Yeah, of course. I'm the one orchestrating it. So now I noticed that we're slow out of the box, and we're finding different ways to get going fast. And of course, it's close to the end of the season, and we say that week after week, and we got to do it, so we just got to find and create a strategy going to.
Does he strike you as a guy that's disinterested, like ready to go on and become a pro? Like, once the NIL, this is the dangers of NIL money and early attention. You already feel like a pro, right? And so then, bowl games and, you know what I mean? Rah, shish, boom, bah. Like, do I really give a fuck? Does he strike you as that? He doesn't strike me as disinterested, but he definitely strikes me as a guy who's like, was he burning to win the Big 12? Was establishing himself as a college grad. And granted, his time was up when he came in. So this was all just an NFL audition for Shador. More than it was about, I think, winning a national championship. You just add to the lore if you're able to do that. I got the money. I got the profile. I'm going to go. He's probably going to be the first quarterback taken off the board in the upcoming draft. Are you really, really all that concerned if you don't make the Big 12 championship and have to play another game, an extra game or an extra 4 games, an extra 3 games to get to a national championship? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just a question.
Last couple games we have left to get that done.
The other part is the run game. Obviously, Isaiah got hurt. It's been 3 weeks now. You guys.
What does it matter? Well, all due respect to Isaiah Augustavi, what does it matter if he got hurt? What is the kid's rushing yards on the season? Augustavi has to have on the season 400 yards. Not even. That's what I'm saying. Like, does it hurt the offense that you didn't have, no offense to the kid, but you didn't have Isaiah Augustavi and his 362 yards. You know, he's got a 4.5 yard per carry average, but no. Dumb question. Next question.
Where do you think the issues are with the running game right now?
We can't run the ball. What do you think the issues are with the running game right now? We can't.
Well, I got to watch the film. I can't speak on anything I'm not sure of.
Okay, watch the film. Sure. Is it going to look any different than any of the previous week's film where you haven't been able to run the ball? Say the thing. We don't have a back. Yeah, damn it.
So I just got to watch it and see.
Troy, go ahead.
Shedeur, coach said that he felt like not all players, but some of the players got intoxicated by the recent success, reading the clippings. Did you feel that was an issue coming into this game, that overconfidence?
He's going to say no.
How did you see it kind of manifesting it today against that very hungry Kansas team?
No, I mean, personally, I'm just an overconfident person myself, so I can't spot that on anybody else and say, oh, they're overconfident. Is why. I'm not sure. It was really, we all did our job preparing and doing that, so whatever people did in their personal side, like mentally, you won't be able to know, like we won't be able to know. I'm focused on plenty of other things than, how somebody's thinking at all times.
I like the answer. He's straight up. Personally, I'm overconfident as it is. Okay. Do you think, because this is really a culture and an environment question. That's what it is. It's a culture and environment question. You know what I mean? It's hard for people to relate to the rap and the Maybach and the chains and on college kids, mind you. And the swag and the constant media glow and, constant media attention. They can't, the old guard can't relate. So they're looking at your culture, they're looking at your environment, and they're saying, it seems pretty distracting in there. Like, NFL teams don't carry on like this. Like, do we realize that? Like, NFL locker rooms, every guy is a millionaire or at least 100,000-aire. And NFL locker rooms don't carry on like this. NFL situations don't carry on like this. So there is that. It is a thing. And it's a fine line to walk. It's a fine line to walk. Now, off the field, everybody's got this or everybody's got that. But, when it comes to getting shit done, chopping wood, I got to leave your Maybach. I don't give a fuck what you drove up in. No one cares what you parked in the parking lot in. When you cover a professional sports organization, you walk past the player parking lot, everybody's got a high-end car. There might be the one or two offensive linemen that are like, yeah, I just chop wood, so I drive a whatever, a beater. Everybody's got it. So showing up in it ain't shit. Everybody's got gold chains and watches and platinum and diamonds and pearls and all of the accoutrement. Everybody's got it. You come in here to play or no? Because you can't come out here dressed in all that shit. I hope you don't wear your Audemars watch during practice or the game and get that motherfucker knocked off your wrist. Don't come out here with your Cuban link. Now, some guys you see, Justin Jefferson, this man got on a De Beers looking crystal. What the hell is going on around his neck? I'm like, you playing that? All right, brother. Don't get lit up and watch that motherfucker come off you like spikes off of Sonic the Hedgehog. You get lit up and just watch diamonds fly everywhere. Okay. Y'all different. Get it. Get it how you live. I might do it, hell, if I could. I might do it. But truthfully speaking, when you get past all that shit, did you come out here to ball or not? And what it seems like, we saw it last year when guys would try and take, they're like, oh, you coming out here and you perfect timing, watching on us? And then guys started like, nah, it's perfect timing when you lose. Right. It happened in the Oregon game. I remember that. So guys are like, yeah, get your social media on. Meet us on the field where men hash this shit out. You can't bring your watch. Your social media following can't come with you. You can't bring your Instagram followers with you. Just you. No. Just you and him and the other 8 of y'all. Come out here. We're going to chop some wood. We're going to see what it do. And, and sometimes it's going to go like this. And so, again, it's like guys, intoxicated by that. It's intoxicating when I'm telling you, it's all about the environment that you set, because all of those things can exist. The show can exist. They're going to exist. Do you? But at a certain point in time, it's like, shut that camera off, get that fucking rapper out of here, nigga, get to work. You trying to go to the league or no? You trying to be known as a winner or no? All of that, the dancing and all that, okay, that's cool. Game time. Shut that off. Let's go to work. Bucky, get that camera out of these boys' face. They can't handle it. These niggas is in the middle of practicing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious, though. You know what I'm saying? Some guys can't handle it and show up and handle their business. So maybe none of y'all. Nobody. That's it. You stay on the other side of the sideline. Is that what he's going to have to do? How are you going to set an environment that treats everyone like beyond this point business starts? Everything you do outside of this point, cool. But beyond this point, business starts. Because what I can't have is the guy who deserves to be the third guy coming off the bench acting like he's a first-round draft pick and lying in wait. Because I got cameras everywhere and this NBA star is on the sideline. And, maybe it's got to get lean so they can get clean. But if it gets lean, will he stay on scene? Know what I mean? We're going to find out about a lot of guys in a losing environment, which is actually not a losing environment. When you find out, it's when the times get tough. That's when you find out what you're made of, right? It's when it gets gritty. It just got gritty today.
Your hopes and dreams are still alive.
Your hopes and dreams.
In the aftermath.
Like, man, do you know how much money I'm counting? Have you seen my Maybach? Do you know what my lady looks like? Hopes and dreams? Hog balls and...
Right now, and when you start letting yourself think about that, you're still in line from Big 12 and whatnot.
But I don't even know how that works. I just know we lost tonight's game, so that's something we just got to watch, and we just got to improve overall and see what went wrong. We're on offense. We could have had our defense back more, and that's it.
Eric, go ahead. Your dad, coach, said that you guys were intoxicated with success. So how do you sober up?
I don't know.
He thought he was going to get one off. How do you sober up? Let's listen to that.
Your dad, coach, said that you guys were intoxicated with success. So how do you sober up?
You trying to be cute?
I don't know.
That was that.
No comment.
That's. I mean, the intoxicated question had already been asked. All right, the intoxicated question had already been asked about guys feeling themselves being intoxicated with it. He already addressed it like, I'm already overconfident. So I'm not really one to start telling people how to approach confidence. I'm also not running around checking niggas to see how they're approaching things outside the lines. It's in the lines that we handle business. Then this guy comes out and he figures that he's going to be a bar god.
What went wrong? We're on offense. We could have.
These are this, by the way, is the.
Your dad and coach said that you guys were intoxicated with success. So how do you sober up?
Look at that. The look on Shador's face, like he trying to be cute, like he wants to say something. He wants to say something, but he can't say it. You can tell. You trying to be cute. How do you sober up? How do you sober up? Okay.
I don't know. No comment.
Yeah, hey, when you look off like, fuck, who brought the comedian? How do you sober up is a crazy question. How do you sober up is a crazy question because it's like there is an element amongst the CU press corps that I believe bristles at the environment because you're so used to seeing it a certain way and you're afraid of change. Culture frightens you, especially when it's black culture. It frightens you. You have to grin and bear it because what are you gonna do? It's ruling the zone. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna get him on here once before we get on to our thing that we're gonna do. I was talking to my bro CJ about it. Black and Gold Brothers, Charles Johnson, 5th down quarterback. Ask about him. Don't think that there's not an element within the calls coming from within the house type shit. Don't think that there's not an element within, maybe not so much the program, but just outside of the program in that city that's like, I'm not feeling this at all. It's too black and it's too proud. It's too black, it's too proud, and it's damn sure too loud. And I'm not even trying to, because I know what people will say is, oh, you're playing the race card. It ain't mine to play. Last I checked, black man didn't develop the race card. So playing it is just looking at the field as it lands. And if you think that Lily White, People's Republic of Boulder, if everybody in that town is just enjoying all this bombastic blackness, I have a bridge that I would love you to check out. I have a bridge. I have a couple bridges. I'm actually a bridge broker, and I have an assortment of bridges that you can check out and buy into that I will sell you. Sans deed. I mean, that's just Boulder. Now, extrapolate Boulder and just think about the press corps who's like, yeah, it's all good when you're winning. All that dancing's real good when you're winning. Yep, gold chains, love it. No, yeah, sure. Fucking, I got to go home to my wife and a fucking hovel. No, it's great. No, they're dancing. They got a DJ in there. I can barely hear. No, I'm just trying to ask a couple questions. It's okay. I can't hear over the DJ, but it's all good. No, it's fine. Anytime the DJ wants to stop playing, oh, look at that, Cameron, the rapper's here. If you don't think there's an element of that in this, you tripping. Man, what? Y'all tripping. So it's like when a question like that comes out, like, coach said, your dad said it, not me. You guys were you're intoxicated by the success. How do you sober up? Shut your ass up, boy. What, you think you're cute? You trying to be funny? What, you supposed to be a comedian? How do you sober up? Good one.
It's 24 hours. Wins and losses is the same thing. You don't change the recipe based off the result. You do the same thing.
Okay.
No comment. 24 hours. Wins and losses is the same thing. You don't change the recipe based off the result. You do the same thing week in and week out. And
is that true? If you get your ass handed to you, you don't want to look into the recipe. Like if you put in Mama Biscuits, like you got your Mama Biscuits recipe. Okay, now that's your Mama Biscuits though. You got your Mama Biscuits recipe. And you decide it's Sunday, I'm going to make dinner for the family. I got my Mama Biscuits recipe. And you put them in, and they all come out like hockey pucks. I guess you don't change the recipe. You got to look into how you cooked it. Okay, he's not wrong.
This week, it didn't go our way, so we just have to go 24 hours, look at it, see what went wrong.
I know what went wrong. We all saw what went wrong. Excuse me, what went wrong. What went wrong is that football is a physical sport. And you didn't show up prepared to be physical. On all sides of the ball, they got pushed around. Not really, though. Shedeur had time in the pocket. He just held it. And it seemed like nobody could get open. None of his receivers were up to the task of breaking free. And, credit to Kansas. Yes. I got you. One second.
Be ready for next game.
Football is obviously a very physical game. Whether it's hits on you or their ability to run the ball. When a team gets beaten physically, how does that strike you? They obviously beat you physically. Kansas overall beat you physically.
Yeah, physically, it didn't phase me. I got sacked 52 times last year, so nothing really physically could do anything to me, honestly. And so it just made me play harder. Like that's it. I feel like whenever the intensity is that, it's just we invite that, and it's a fun game.
Sure, you've had games this year offensively where you guys have been the ones dominating the time of possession. When an offense is able to do that, what kind of effect does that have on a defense, and what kind of message do you send to the defensive guys on the sideline when they're on the field for a lot during the game?
I mean, well, initially we was 3 and out early on, so we can't afford that. We still had a lot of mess ups overall offensively, so we can't really say too much to the defense until we are accountable of ourselves and we do everything that we're supposed to do. So that's why it's not we're in the locker room, we're not pointing fingers at it's this side that did this side. Like that's not how it is, because we all genuinely messed up.
Brian, go ahead, last one.
Sure, the last time you guys kind of got beat up like this was Nebraska. You guys responded with a really nice game against CSU and then a nice run. What's kind of the formula to bouncing back from this and making sure you guys have a good game next week?
Same formula it is every week. Go into the week refreshed and understand what we did wrong and not really let it happen again. They did a great job running the football. They did a good job.
Yeah, they did.
Defending and stopping our run. So we just gotta, I would say, see what went wrong and fix it.
What did I miss?
Next week it won't happen also, honestly. And so
sorry.
It just made me play harder.
How does that strike you to run the ball?
It's my old radio partner.
Change the recipe based off the result. You do the same thing week in and week out, and this week it didn't go our way, so we just have to go 24 hours, look at it, see what went wrong, and then heading into next week, be ready for next game.
Mark, go ahead. Football is obviously a very physical game. Whether it's hits on you or their ability to run the ball. When a team gets beaten physically, how does that strike you? They obviously beat you physically. Kansas overall beat you physically.
Yeah, physically, it didn't phase me. I got sacked 52 times last year, so nothing really physically could do anything to me.
I like Shedeur.
So it just made me play harder. Like that's it. I feel like whenever the intensity is that, we invite that, and it's a fun game.
Sure, you've had games this year offensively where you guys have been the ones dominating the time of possession. When an offense is able to do that, what kind of effect does that have on a defense, and what kind of message do you send to the defensive guys on the sideline when when they are on the field for a lot during the game?
I mean, well, initially we was 3 and out early on, so we can't afford that. We still had a lot of mess ups overall offensively, so we can't really say too much to the defense until we are accountable of ourselves and we do everything that we're supposed to do. So that's why we're in the locker room, we're not pointing fingers at this side that did this side. Like that's not how it is, because we all genuinely messed up.
Brian, go ahead, last one.
Sure. The last time you guys kind of got beat up like this was Nebraska. You guys responded with a really nice game against CSU and then a nice run. What's kind of the formula to bouncing back from this and making sure you guys have a good game next week?
Same formula it is every week. Go into the week.
Same thing we do every week, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Not really let it happen again. They did a great job running the football. They did a good job defending and stopping our run. So we just gotta
defending and stopping the run sounds crazy, considering that this is not a team that anyone thinks can run the ball. I'm just being honest. That's one of them coach speak things or whatever. They did a great job defending and stopping the run. Well, everybody does a great job defending and stopping the run against you guys because you guys don't run the ball. You either don't or you can't. Most teams that don't run the ball pretty much can't run the ball. I'm getting verklempt. I promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
I would say see what went wrong and fix it, so next week it won't happen also.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, man.
What went wrong? Where went wrong? Listen, man.
Sure, I know.
Is there anybody else? Whew. That was hard. That was hard to withstand. That's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna leave a mark. They bludgeoned you. You got bludgeoned. You got beat. And all you can hope is that everything that we heard from both Coach Prime and his son, you got to hope that everything that you heard there is something that they can go back and translate to their mates. And obviously Coach Prime, Shador's mates and Coach Prime's players. Beginning to end, when you take it on the chin like that.
Here we go. Colorado.
That's one of them. That's going to test your nuts.
So much at stake for the Buffaloes. The Jayhawks trying to get bowl eligible with 2 wins. And this return is a good one.
Kansas ran
Wants
right.
this to be a high possession game.
Kansas ran all day.
Out of the backfield, it's Neal. Catch and run for Devin Neal.
Breakdown.
Oh boy. There he goes. The local kid from Lawrence scores first.
And early on,
and sets Kansas
Early
City
on.
into a frenzy.
There was a tone.
Run a little crack
set.
screen and look at the job of the guys on the inside.
How well y'all tackle?
And then Devin Neal.
You know,
well,
you guys are great.
There's
Levanta
nobody
Bent.
in the alley.
This is my guy.
That kind of looked like
Look
Colorado's
at the
offense.
I
Those
gotta show you
receivers
something.
blocking on the
I
perimeter.
have to show you something. I have to show you something.
In the
This is
alley.
the guy that I'm talking about.
Devin Neal, well, he
I
makes
want you
some
to
of
watch.
Craig Ness.
Now, of course, he's a lineman. But look at the effort.
There's nobody in the
He's already grabbing for his knee or his hamstring. He's playing out of string. Look at the effort. Shador don't have to put it on the defense. I personally, let's look at this.
little cracks.
Man on a man, locked in. Man on a man, locked in. Silman Craig, you're the last line of defense. You break down instead of going to make the tackle. So now he's coming at you. He's got a full head of steam. You're standing still.
Look at the
So
job.
if he cuts, when I say you're standing still, should a back go all out and put himself in jeopardy of being completely out of the play? I'd almost rather see that than this. Breakdown. That's a big man. So, yeah, making the tackle, but think about the hit that Shador took. Think about let's say the guy's mission wasn't to hurt Shador. Think about the hit that he took. It was a missile at his legs, meaning He's going forward. Shedeur was going forward. Shedeur was running, throwing. I mean, so you're already cooked. Cooked for the breakdown. Breakdown. Go ahead. Get him.
Job of the guys.
Boom. You're out of there. Now, here comes Shiloh. Here comes Shiloh. Here comes the Shiloh. Damn. All kinds of breakdown. Now you got two guys fumbling over each other. This one's engaged in a block. And Shiloh, again, I mean, your whole center is off. He's over here.
Inside. And
now you're giving chase. Now look at the effort.
Well, he
keeps running away from Shiloh. Levanta.
Miss.
92.
There's nobody
engaged.
In the alley.
I'm telling you, I watched this play, and I was like, it's about to be a long day for CU's defense.
Look like Colorado's offense. Those receivers blocking
up. Long day for CU. Travis had to come all the way from across the field to even be in the play.
On the perimeter.
It was going to be a long day for your defense from there. And you just saw more of it and 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 more of it.
A walk-in!
I mean, it's easy now in the highlights to point out how everything is going wrong.
Seen to a man.
But, I mean.
Look at every one of these offensive line.
Nemesis. What would you say you do here?
And win their block. Every one of them.
Engaged,
they get a body.
Thrown completely out of the play by a tight end. Man.
They get bodies to.
Now, if I'm looking, though, he looked like he had a whole lot of jersey there.
Get a body on a body. They get.
He looked like he had a whole lot of jersey there.
Ground and Neal. The easiest of the way to attack more of the safeties.
Second down screen. It's Hunter.
Of course, Travis.
The ball, and that's wide.
But if that's your offense, bubble screen Travis. Bubble screen Travis.
The short side.
If that's the offense,
get an explosion like this,
I'll take my chances.
Well, your receiver blocking for
my
you,
chances.
and then the cavalry that herd. Look at all four linemen out in front. And the minute he has any
space, there's a lot to be worked on. That's all.
It's behind the scenes.
That's all.
Inside the red zone for Shedeur Sanders, who took a big hit just a moment ago, and he feeds it in for Miller. It's a touchdown.
I like
Colorado.
Draylon a lot. That's that freshman. Draylon's gonna be
around him.
Juju's gonna like hook it up here, and then they get Omarion back. See, that's the thing about
take two guys.
the thing about the Buffs is they are built for future success from a skill position point.
Back to second down. It's a huge loss for Kansas here. Here comes Wheeler on a blitz. Sanders down the field and a wide.
And every time they tried to get, every time they pulled close, the defense was just not up to the task.
In space.
Every time they pulled close.
You can't play in man.
Oh,
you can't play in zone.
Move.
What can you do? They get in the backfield. Trust us.
Every time they got close.
One more time. Neal rams in.
Selman Craig right there. Met him in the hole. You ain't up to the job. That's a man.
Selman Craig got a face full. Son.
Yeah, this is 185 pounds of the safety, number 7.
Shiloh.
And about 200 and what did he tell us yesterday? 13 or so.
I wonder how the draft's gonna go for Shiloh.
Of pure pain.
I see him getting drafted because
but he's ready to strike.
You know, all things considered, he's not terrible, and he's Deion Sanders' son. But I don't know, man.
The band again in that end zone. Third and goal.
He's got 2 signature plays to his credit this year.
Is in touchdown. 4 times to the house, Devin Neal.
Right, and watch the hand plant here. Once again, it's Cameron Selman Craig. They're in a one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Same spot they were last time.
One-on-one.
That time 7 goes down. And what does Devin Neal do? Are you going to punch? I'm going to counter punch, and I'm going to hand plant with unbelievable strength, athleticism, and power to finish again.
Devin Neal Straight ahead. He sneaks through the other side, and so has Kansas this season.
It's the man's game. Got out man's game. Got out man's game. All right. I ain't giving that more than enough of my attention. Fuck. Oh. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. But you live to fight another day. That's really what it comes on to. What it comes down to is that this team was 1-11 2 years ago, 4-8 last year. They'll finish this season with no less than 8 wins. You want to see the 9th. I do think you want to go to a bowl game of note. I think they will get, because of the spectacle, you will get whatever the highest, what are the bowl games that are outside of the non-CFB bowl games? Non-CFP bowl games. It's a chance to travel, show off your wares. You cannot fall down sleepy against Oklahoma. Cricket Celebration Bowl, Salute to Veterans Bowl, Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. Oh my God, the Boca Raton Bowl. Holy shit, this is bad. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Staff DNA. Maybe you don't want to go to a bowl game. Golly. All of those sound terrible. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, famous Idaho Potato Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl. Why not the Acai Bowl? Oh, fuck. The Game Above Sports Bowl, Rate Bowl, 68 Ventures. Oh, my God. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Birmingham Bowl, AutoZone Liberty. Okay, the Liberty Bowl. I've heard of that one before. Holiday Bowl, Las Vegas Bowl. God, not this team in Las Vegas. Not these. No. No, thank you. No Las Vegas Bowl for this squad. Wasabi Fenway Bowl, Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Isleta New Mexico Bowl, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. This does not say Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. That's not what that says. That's not what that says. I'm just going to read past it because that's not what that says. There is no such thing as the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop Bowl. That's not, it's not a thing. It's not. It won't be a thing. It's past me reading it right there. That's not real. No, thank you. No fucking thank you. What? And it's in Tucson? Of course it's in Tucson. Of course the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop Bowl is in Tucson Hole. What? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important message. And I need you all to listen to me. Snoop Dogg got his own bowl game, y'all. What? No. He couldn't even hold K-Dot down. Wow. The Go Bowling Military Bowl. That's crazy that Snoop Dogg has his own bowl game. The Valero Alamo Bowl. At least I remember the Alamo Bowl. Remember the Alamo. Oh, wow. I didn't plan on that working out that perfectly. The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Trans-Perfect Music City. Okay, the Music City Bowl. Relia Quest Bowl. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. The Sun Bowl. The Citrus Bowl. The Texas Bowl. Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl. Nothing says Citrus Bowl like Cheez-Its. VRBO Fiesta Bowl. Okay, the Fiesta Bowl. Okay, so these are all the college football playoff game bowls. All these here are the bowls where Gator Bowl, First Responder Bowl, Duke's Mayo Bowl. The Duke's Mayo Bowl? God, that sounds nauseating. Bahamas Bowl. You want one of these January bowls. You I think they've earned a January Bowl, haven't they? And plus, one of these January Bowls wants to have, like, the Hard Rock Stadium, like, oh, no, you can't play the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl is a college football playoff game bowl. I'd say one of these January ones, like the Bahamas Bowl or the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Gator Bowl. You want one of those. You want a January bowl game. And I think, you know what? I think one of these January bowl games wants Coach Prime. You know why? Because he's a draw. The squad's a draw. They're going to travel well. They're going to draw. It's worth it. They've earned it. I do believe it's earned. It's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed. I mean, if you finish out of the running in the Big 12, why would you deserve to be in one of those bowls? I guess if you're not in the, if it's not the college football playoff bowl games, it really doesn't matter. The bowl committees in that regard just want to pick two teams that are going to draw well and put on a good game, put on a good show. So, it's worth having Travis Hunt if he's going to play. That's the other part. If you're Travis and Shedeur, do you even play in a bowl game? Do you risk it? I say you play. And I think Coach Prime would say, you guys got to play. You got to give me this one last solid because we got to put on a show for the next recruiting classes. Damn, that shit fell apart quick. You were one slim ass whooping, and it wasn't even a slim ass whooping. You were literally an ass whooping away from the complexion of even your recruiting. I mean, do you get guys who decommit after watching that? These kids are fickle, man. And you see a guy get his ass whooped like that, you're like, I don't know. Now the tuxedos look a little fucked up. The tuxedos look a little fucked up now, don't they? Oh, my goodness. That got out of hand fast. I tried to stay away. I tried to stay away. And they got me. Every time I get out, they just pull me right back in. Jalen Milroe is the dumbest QB in Alabama history. He is totally incapable of correct decision making. Damn. That's a lot. Oh shit. I mean, that particular, what do they call it? That particular ritual. What did Jalen Milroe do? Everybody so excited.
Milroe has time, launches down the seam, and going up to make the catch is Jeremy Bernard.
That looked like a great pass. So, still can't get over that. That's really dirty. What did I just watch? Okay. I mean, I'm just going to no comment that and just keep it moving. Like, what the fuck did I just watch? What just happened? Oh, Nuggets got a game tonight. They coming off a very disappointing loss. I don't know what I'm going to do about them. I don't know what to do about the Nuggets. I put the fix out there. Now I just need somebody to bite on it. Somebody needs to make a call to one Carmelo Anthony and see if there's any desire. And if there is, pay him what he needs. Suit that guy up so we can get some real scoring off this bench. Shore things up. They played in string against Dallas when they lost that game, but there's no Luka. And they were able to come back, take a late lead, back and forth with Dallas, but you dropped that game. That was your Emirates Cup game. I think they're out of the Emirates Cup running. I think they've taken both of the, they're 0-2 in their Emirates Cup game. So I think they're out of the running for it. And I would imagine most teams are kind of disinterested by the in-season tournament. You know, it's just a reason to try hard. What do we need that for? Oh. Do I feel like bitching about politics? There was something that I saw on here that I saved. Oh, man, Connor. When it rains.
The women at the centre of this.
It's too heavy. That's too heavy. Oh, here we go. This is nice. This is nice. That's what people do. Do you think any of these people like it? None of these people woke up or finished this and felt like this, like how I feel. Who goes to cat conventions? But whoever does, look, they're all happy people. These two guys got on robes. How does could you imagine doing real karaoke but never having to actually do the words? You just had to know the melodies. Wouldn't that make karaoke infinitely easier for everyone? All they're saying is meow. They're just replacing the words with meow. But all you have to do is then know them, and so then everybody knows the song. Because meow, 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 and meow, 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 meow. Don't you, I mean, shouldn't you at least throw in some of the real words from the song? Because we are living in a meow, 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 meow. Is that not part of the deal? How long do you think it's been since Melo's touched a basketball? Andon? Not long, to be honest with you, because he's always working out with his son. He's always working out with Cayenne. Is it Cayenne or Cayenne? I don't think it's been that long at all. I think Melo's a gym rat. I think Melo's leaving basketball was in part basketball leaving him. Like there was no market for his services. And the paycheck was just too large to, Yeah, I want to watch the Nuggets win right meow. Don't fucking do that, Andon. Do not fucking do that, Andon. Don't do that to me. I want to watch the Nuggets win right meow. No, bro. You're not helping. You're hurting. Don't do that. Andon, could you do cat karaoke? Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
Go back.
Cat lovers, man. That's why we're dog people only. Fucking cat lovers. Sorry. No offense, but you got one more of those in you. You got one more, Andon, and then you're done. I'm just letting you know. You got one more. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's the last one. That's the last one, Andon. I swear to Christ. That's the last one. Meow, that's what I'm talking about. Just blow it all up. Meow, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually well played, sir. Oh, Christ. It's hard to, I promised myself, like, I want to move on. And I have to. I can't. There's no droning over it. The game's long since over. See, you got their asses whooped. We move on to the Nuggets. But that feeling is sticking with me, man. It sucks. That feeling sucks. See, this is what the Nuggets need to do. This is what the Nuggets need to do. We need to go get another fifth guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
What we need is Paul Heyman.
Now, forgive me. Sometimes I've been put through a table in Madison Square Garden, so maybe my math is a little off.
I agree.
But there's no.
You gotta be more creative with where you place it. You can't just meow 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 your way through like humming the lyrics and then you're just meow meow meowing. Yeah, man, it sucks, Andon. It sucks. It was right there. You know why? You know what sucks about it? You know what's depressing about it is what I feel like was also lost. It wasn't just them losing. I feel like going to one of these stupid no-name bowl games, it's just all very anticlimactic. And our whole goal is to see them build something really special in Boulder. And I'm off my square. Now I'm a little unsure. I'm not going to lie. Now I'm a little unsure as to whether or not this thing can hold Coach Prime's attention. I think it will. I have every reason to believe that he doesn't want to go out like that. But then it's like, well, does he think that it's an easier build in another place? Does the NFL? I don't think he wants any part of the NFL. I still am not convinced that that is the far gone conclusion that Stephen A. Smith and company would want to make it sound like oh, we want the money, you want the check. He don't need no more money. I'm not counting his pockets. I'm just saying he's getting paid a lot. And he will make more if Rick George keeps, I think, his promise and does what he's supposed to do, which is pull this team out of the Big 12 and go independent, bro. You'll get all the money you want in a TV contract. And then Prime can pay his staff. He can get real good guys in there on the staff. NIL money's not hard to come by. Now the boosters don't have to be the only ones supplying it. I think that's got to be the Rick George play. That's got to be the play. Yeah, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl is a real thing. Like what? Nothing says Citrus Bowl like Cheez-Its. They just went out and grabbed anybody who would pay a check. I'm the cheesiest coach. No. You want to know what the one is though, Andon? This one. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. Holy shit. What don't Snoop have? I know what he don't have. He didn't have K-Dot's back. He didn't have Kendrick's back. He ain't got no spine. If Drake puts you in a song and it ain't even posthumous, if he AIs you into a song, you're supposed to come out and be like, what the fuck is your problem, bro? Snoop's got his own bowl game, though, so good for Snoop. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. And wouldn't you know it, where is this illustrious bowl? Of course, it's in Tucson. The Roto-Rooter Sugar Bowl. Right. Fuck my life, man. This is why, Andon. This is why I got out of sports. I'm telling you guys, I have an unhealthy relationship with losses that I can't control. I have a very unhealthy relationship with it. It's very unhealthy. It sticks with me. Stings the nostrils. It's a very unhealthy relationship I have with other people's losses. I didn't lose no money on the game. My kid's not going to see you. I didn't lose, I didn't lose anything. I lost hope that this team would be able to play in the college football playoff. That's what I lost. That's a small price to pay for me. So why does it feel? Why does it hurt so bad? But why does it hurt so bad? Why? But why? But why? Why does it hurt so bad? But why?
Way to go, neato, gang. Yes, boy. Oh. Yeah.
Do something to make me feel better.
Something will go open. My spidey sense is like, oh, this is fucking bullshit.
This
yes,
is
it is.
Bullshit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is fucking bullshit. I talk trash all week long. Gonna be eating a lot of growing work on Monday. Yeah. That's why it's always best to walk softly. Walk softly and carry a big stick. A big shit-talking stick. But you don't want to be a front runner, right? You don't want to talk shit post after the fact. You want to get out ahead of it. I get it. I know where you're at, and I get it. You want to get out there in front of it and be like, I'm not no front runner. I was here. Look at me. Look at my face. I did this to you. Remember what I told you? Remember what I told you in the break room? Look at my face. I did this to you. That's what you want. That's what any good fan wants. You just want to be able to look at your coworker and go, look at me. Look here. Look at me. Look at me. No. Here, look at me. I did this to you. Me. I did this to you. My allegiance with that team. I have no control whatsoever over the outcome. But you feel the way you feel because I did this to you. This is what we love and hate about sport. It's really about rubbing it in the face of your peers. This is why they play the game. So that I can go into Jason Whitlock's Twitter feed and heckle him until he blocks me. So I can heckle Jason Whitlock until he blocks me. Block. So that I can go on Twitter into a CU thread and find every hater in there and just troll them until they block me. But no. CU's defense had to show up like a sieve. Nah, you're right. It's a very good point. Gloating is the best dopamine drip. Every time you just look at, sometimes you could just do it quietly. You know what I mean? Because you and the person that you're gloating at, you both know what's going on. They look at you, they're like, you guys, and you're like, yeah, I know, man. Listen, I'm glad they got the win. I'm glad they get to go another. You fucking idiot. What did I tell you? I told you that's how that was gonna go. No, I'm giving you shit, dude. I'm just fucking with you, man. Everybody, you know what I mean? I don't get paid from the game and everything. I don't even really care all that much. But don't you feel dumb as fuck for arguing with me about it. This motherfucker, ooh, this guy. Oh, last week. Not gonna win. Yeah, okay. How'd that work out? Right. Look at me. I did this to you. You feel like a big man. Oh, what, you a big man? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Because a team that I have nothing to do with, a game that I haven't played since I was an 8th grader. Okay? I get no bumps. I get no bruises. I call no plays. But that win? Oh, the rush. Drink it in the power. Drink it in. How dare you challenge my knowledge of sport? How dare you? And you own it for a week. You own it for a week. You own it for a week until the next time when you are biting a hole in a towel, when you're ripping a towel apart in the waning moments of a game. Because yet again, Jordan Love can't seem to not throw a pick at the worst time in the history of mankind. Again, I'm punching holes in walls because Jamal can't stop dribbling the ball at the worst fucking time in the game. Jamal. Just give it to Joker, God damn it. Jamal. It's the self-identity everyone who went to KU had. They think they're so wait, they think they're on the damn football team. Yeah, we all do that though. I love we in fandom. Oh, we just got to win 4 more. We? Hey, Chief, who's we? Are you catching wheel routes? Are you blocking tackle? Ain't no we, Chief. It's them. Wake up. McFly, get up. You're not on the squad. I had a problem with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I swore off of sports because my time covering sports in Denver was a gift and a curse. I got to travel all over the United States following the Rockies. It was fun. It was great. I did it for 7 years. I got to meet a bunch of great people and hang out with my friends and build relationships. But I drew these allegiances to organizations. And I mean, it had already been in me. I was just a sports fan who got the chance to work in sports. And then after I finished, I would still oh, God, I can remember how it would feel like. Unfortunately, no, I'm not a Broncos fan. I'm a Packer fan. But post-Packer loss Sundays used to be just so why do I feel so shitty? I didn't even play the game. And it's I was like, you know what? I think this shit's all fixed anyway. I'm not giving you people my energy, my good, loving energy. And I did it. I got out. I backed all the way out. Straight art and music. Music is art, but the whole Meow Wolf thing. Straight art and music. And then somewhere around, I know when it was, right after COVID, I just got the bug. The NFL seemed watchable again. I'm not going to make any bones about it. I wasn't following CU football all that closely during the 1-11 year. Let me be honest. And then they get Coach Prime, and it's interesting. And then D-Mac calls, and he's like, hey, you want to do something? I'm like, I'm always paying attention. The Nuggets, when they won that chip, I went to the parade, and it was intoxicating, that whole season. That's the only squad that I kept, them and the Warriors. It was basketball, basically. Was the only sport, and then baseball, because baseball I just love to watch. I don't really have a dog in the hunt, because our representation of Major League Baseball in Colorado is dog shit. No reason to get worked up over it. They love being Major League. That team, the Cleveland squad with the owners that are just she's just as long as the checks keep coming in, I don't give a shit. As a matter of fact, I'd prefer that you not win so I don't have to spin on the roster. So, baseball, I just love the game. And postseason baseball is great to watch, although the Yankees didn't prove any of that. I was talking all that shit about how great postseason is. And then the Yankees went in, and then Brett Boone's brother made a couple of bad decisions, won in the first game, and it was just boat race from there. Anyway, post-COVID, football started again for me. Okay, I'm back. I like this. Speaking of music, what are the beats in the last 30 intro? They're sick. Reminds me of the company. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Let's see. One of them is this one. Mike T said. My homeboy Mike T made this one. All original music. I got a ton of them though. This is one that I'm on actually.
Red or blue, which pill do you choose?
It's called the 19s.
Back and swallow till the leg clapping hollow. Some of y'all so sleepy.
Stuck neatly geeky, isn't that cute?
You want your baba and your binky?
I wrote this song during COVID. I got you all up in your kikis, KK killing, ain't you?
Riding ready to aim and squeeze. Quiet adults is banging, please. Give a fuck about what you claiming, Damon. This is that woo. So ain't about how turf you talking, pantomime the ways. Walk that I got time today. Chalk that line to find your soil.
They got theirs, both y'all loyal.
And if world sent to that conversation,
that dollar ain't got a quarter in it for you in the sentence. Now that's gang shit, universal language. All they speak is banging ease. Yeah, we do the musics. We do the musics. Thank you. I appreciate that, Andon. We do the musics. Thank you. There'll be a couple of projects that are dropping from me and my food chain brethren in the very near future. My homeboy Avenue Dave has one coming out called Killed the Boy. I'm talking about album of the year worthy shit. And then I got one called Dear God, No One's Coming to Save You that at some point in time, early next year, will be dropping. So I appreciate it. Well, Andon, and whomever else is riding, I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to say thank you, first and foremost. Round of applause. It's always a pleasure to be able to just come on, log on, and do this catharsis while I build up this channel. So I'm always appreciative of anybody that participates, comes through. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and talk to myself. It doesn't really bother me. And we're going to build this Good News Travel Fast thing into the most happening reaction channel on the entire internet. Please believe it. Music, entertainment, politics, and of course sports. And then obviously when I'm over there on Kill You With Truth, we just do the sports things. But over on this side, it could be anything. Right now, I'm plumb tuckered. The boys took it out of me. You know what? I'm not gonna hold a grudge, but damn it, I need some different type of love. So I'm gonna call it. Seriously though, thank you. And as I go on this ride, trust me, everybody that rides from the beginning, you will be remembered. Remember what you see here. Remember these things. It's the same thing I want Coach Prime to look at his squad and be like, remember what you see here today, gentlemen. This is we ain't no way. I'm not done with this motherfucker by sight. All right. Key with Truth. Fam, later. Good News Travel Fast, fam. Later.